Yo, what's good? Today, I'm basically going to be teaching you the fundamentals of a UK drill beat because I'm seeing a lot of stuff online. A lot of people they're trying to explain it, but they're not explaining it properly. So I've made a few points here on the main things that you need to remember. So first of all, the BPM is usually around 140 to 147. So I'm using 145 over here. And then for the hi-hats, uh, you need this pattern, which is basically two spaces, one space, and then it's going to be a repeat. Usually there's a delay on the hi-hats as well, so I'll show you how to do that. There's a snare on the 3 and the 8. It's the 3 and the 7 in trap beats. And usually there's a soft clipper on the master, which I'll show you later how that helps in the beat. And usually when you're using a kick, there's a large space between each kick, and you're not using too many of it. And usually there's either orchestral or like a dark piano melody that's used. So usually they use one note gaps for like a dark feel that they have, and usually there's a long sustained 808 that's used, and 808 slides at the end of the bar, and this is used to um that's basically just the way that 808s are in drill, and usually for trap it's a bit more um short. So I'm just gonna do that, and remember the pattern is two spaces, and then one space, and then you need to repeat that. And let's listen. And now you can see you still can't hear the bounce very well, so I'm going to add some feedback, some delay on here, and I'm going to increase the pitch fluctuation to around 449. So now you can hear it sounding better. And now I'm going to add a snare on top of that. So I'll just go into a very popular drill kit, which is 808 Mellow Dior, and I'm just going to open up this snare and remember count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, and yeah, so that's the snare on the 3 and the 8. So now that we've done that, we can look back and see we need to change the master to a soft clipper, and usually this does create more bounce when you're using kick. It makes the kick hit harder. So um, now I'm just gonna add one of my favorite kicks and increase the volume so that it hits a lot harder. And as you can see, there's large spaces in between each kick, which allows for like a more of a build up in the beat. So now I'm gonna add a long sustained 808. As you can see, it's pretty sustained. It's not a very short one, and make sure it cuts itself, because otherwise you're gonna have some problems. So and when you go into the 808s, make sure that everything is turned down except for the hold, which is on full. And at the end of the bar, you want to make sure you add some 808 slides. So and even for the slides, like it's the same for the melody. You have to make sure it has like one note gaps because it sounds a lot more dark that way. And I'm just gonna, like, you don't want to have the same length of 808 slide for each one because then it's gonna sound it's not gonna sound good. So and now for the melody, you want to open up basically a very basic piano. You don't want anything like area ambience. Just open up like a Nexus grand piano and increase the attack slightly, and then go into the mixer and add this plugin known as Halftime, which is a very good plugin for drill. And make sure you're cutting out the lows, cutting out the low frequencies so that it doesn't clash with the 808. And now let's see. And as you can see, it's sounding very dark because we have this one note gap over here. And make sure the notes are like, the chords are very similar to each other. You don't want any like mad progressions like 4 notes up or anything like that. So make sure the notes are very close together, like one note gaps, and then make sure it's the same for the melody that you do on top as well. And now you can bring this into the playlist, and usually they have a counter melody as well that is added on top of the original melody. So you usually do this for like some extra feel and add it like above the previous melody. And now I can add a intro, and basically I can bring in the kick and the 808 in like a sort of delayed drop over here. So just yeah. And yeah, that was pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to like show the fundamentals basically for like beginners and stuff, because I can see on the internet a lot of it, like they're skipping out on certain steps. They're not showing the entire process. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that, and yeah, love.